Good morning. Great morning. Wonderful morning. Spectacular morning. Outstanding morning. Magnificent morning. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious morning. Yes, again, the beautiful reminder that you, me, and every single one of us get to choose. Remember, you always have a choice. Write that in your notes. I always have a choice. Don't underestimate the power of writing that down. It's such an amazing truth. And what is the choice that you always have? Well, the choice to accept, reject ideas, to originate ideas. No one can force you to think the thoughts you think. And with that choice, you can determine your destiny. Think about that. Starts in the mind. Everything starts in the mind. Bob Proctor said that many, many times. Everything starts in the mind. And then he'd go further into sharing how in the mind there's what's called imagination. Imagination, the starting point of all creation. And you have one. And you get to use yours however you want to use it. Think about that for you with this goal. Lift your goal cards up, raise them. Come on, make this important. Think about this idea. This was imagined. It wasn't in the material world, right? It's not there right now, but it's something that you would love to be something that's of a material fact in the world, correct? Isn't that interesting how when you look at it and how when you look at everything else that was made, all the physical things around you, which includes results and outcomes that you can't see as well. I'm talking about the virtual things, right? It started in the mind. And this right here for you can definitely be there, and it will be there provided you are loyal to it. Remember what Charles Haanel talked about in one of the previous chapters, how the law of attraction is dependent on vibration, which is dependent on love. Isn't that beautiful? And by the way, isn't that simple? It's so simple. And you can use it for anything. Want to increase your income, change your lifestyle, change your vocation, whatever that is, you can deliver it. You just have to work with the law. And that's what we talk about here. This is why I love this material. It's such a beautiful reminder when we go over this to help to embed it even more deeply within me. And I'm hoping that it's doing the same for you. I hope that it is. All right. So, with that being said, do make sure that you have a copy of this, a physical copy of it, and do mark it up. If you don't have a copy of this, just click on the link that we provide to you so that you can go ahead and download this. And most importantly, though, don't read it. Okay? What are you talking about? In the book, there's words in it. Read it. No, don't read it. Don't read it. Reading it's not going to serve you. You know what's going to serve you? Using it. It's application, baby. That's where it's at. See, that's something, unfortunately, that the personal development world has not instilled in people. The personal development world has unfortunately created a culture of information gatherers. Here's another book, here's another book, here's another book. Oh, I read that, I read that, I read that. And the results don't really change. Why? Because it's not internalized, because it's not applied. Stop collecting information. Instead, apply it. Use it. See, that's what's going to deliver the change. It's very simple. But the question is how are you going to do that, right? Not how is it possible for you to do that. I'm talking about to what depth are you going to instill that use of the information that you have. Remember, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is only potential power, and the only way it becomes power is when it's what? It's when it's used, it's when it's applied. And then from there, you'll gain understanding. Wow, amazing. All of you go like this. Give yourself a big kiss. Yeah, that's right. Give yourself a big kiss. All right, so let's dive into this, shall we? Let's dive into the art of creation, the beautiful game of life. And that was another book that we studied. Wasn't that wonderful? By Florence Scovel Shinn. Amazing book. All right, let's go for this. Ready? One, two, three, boom. All right. It's highlighted here. Got to scroll up here. And this is where we are. We talked about this yesterday, and we're going to go over it a little bit today before we go into number 9. And let's talk about the true nature and scope of induction. So you have induction and then you have deduction. Okay. Induction is based from what's happening inside. When you look at everything that was created, it was through induction that that happened. As we are diving into everything that is being shared with you, that's what we're going over. So this then is the true nature and scope of induction. But the greater the success which men have achieved in the inductive science, the more does the whole tenor of their teachings and example impress us with the necessity of observing carefully, patiently, accurately, with all the instruments and resources at our command, the individual facts before venturing upon a statement of general laws. Now, what does that mean again when you think in terms of what's being revealed here? Well, it means that induction is the process of learning truth by observing facts first. Then by making general rules, okay, of the theories only after enough of what's been seen has been gathered. Now, when you think in terms of science, the more that science is advanced, and we have all recognized that it's advanced. And by the way, that brings up another thing too, because a lot of the science that's there, a lot of it's based off of theory from the information that's collected. How many of you noticed that the theories keep changing? Isn't that crazy? One of those examples that I love to talk about is, for instance, carbon dating. A lot of people think that carbon dating is a factual thing. It's not. It's a theory based off of information that's collected, but now the theory's changing. But with that being said, the more science is advanced, the more it proves that we must be careful in what? We must be careful and thorough before jumping to conclusions. Think about that. You got to be careful by looking at facts that are there, observing, and then what's called reason. Remember, we're talking about beliefs. What you believe to be true is what determines how far you'll go. It determines what you see. It is done unto you as you believe. Write that in your notes. It is done unto me as I believe. And then type it in the comments. Circle the word as. What's done unto you is conditional based on what you believe. Now, why is it important? What does that have to do with this? It has everything to do with this. Why? Because if you are closed-minded and if you don't look at the information and reason, that means you're not moving new information around, which means your beliefs won't change, which means your outcomes won't change. I remember the first time that I got that, I was going, whoa, holy shit. You mean I could shift my beliefs? And yet we do it all the time. How many of you had an opinion about somebody based on those facts? Maybe you called that person a jerk, an asshole, whatever, a bitch, whatever, okay? Or whatever that was. You had that information, but then you got additional information that you were not aware of. And what did it do? It shifted the conclusion. right? Nod your heads. Every one of you should be nodding your heads because every single one of us has done that. We've done that about ourselves. See, it's through that observation and reevaluation, which is what he's talking about, that the growth happens. And that's exactly what's going to happen for you when it comes to this. See, this information is incredible only if used. Okay. With that being said, if used, will help you to see all that's in you to be able to deliver this and all that's available to you so that this can come to you. Remember, the world we live in is not a material world. The material world is the world of effects. Thoughts are the causes, the results are the effects. Think of, like, for instance, if you see 10 swans, okay, and they're all white, don't assume all swans are white, right? Think about that. You see 10 swans, and that's what you see. You know, oh, the swans are white. Now you all of a sudden assume all swans are white. They're not. You got to observe more swans in different places to be sure. Now think about that for you. Think about how important this is, because it has, again, it has everything to do with you changing outcomes and living your life on your terms.